Morgan. We're here with our Teaching Tip Tuesday. Today's teaching tip, we are teaching kids how to safely progress from climbing up onto the low bar and jumping to catch the high bar. We're gonna start with the most basic way, easiest way to climb up on the low bar. That's a birdie perch. If a kid cannot yet do a pullover, we're gonna start them here on the floor. So kindergarten, very beginners, or kids who just don't have a pullover yet are gonna start here on the floor bar. So Morgan's gonna put her hands right in the middle of the bar. For her birdie perch, one foot climbs on the outside, as does the other. Okay, that's fine. Sometimes kids fall backwards here, and you just wanna remind them, give them the tip to lean their shoulders forward over the bar, 1 foot to 2, stand tall, and jump down. Great job, Morgan. Thank you. Kids who still can't do a pullover and are not ready to climb up on the low bar independently yet can also have experience jumping to the high bar and have some fun trying it out. We just want to make sure that we get them set up to be able to do that safely. So if you check out our matting and the way we've got this set up here, we've got our base mat, and we make sure that the base mat actually comes pretty far out from where the high bar is. This way, if anybody wipes out, peels off this way off the high bar, we've got them set to be caught safely. Next, we've got our wedge mat. The reason for the wedge mat is if the kid is beginning to jump to the high bar and they fall forward, this wedge mat is here to break their fall, okay? So if this isn't here and they come down like this, they have farther to fall, they could hurt their arms, so we're gonna bring the floor closer to them in case they do trip. And we're gonna give them a nice block to start on, rather than jumping from the bar, they can jump from the block. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and kids who are able to practice from the floor bar doing their birdie perch there, they're starting to get the idea of what that birdie perch is, but they are not quite ready to climb on the low bar because they cannot do a pullover yet, are going to practice climbing onto a block and jumping to catch the high bar. So Morgan's gonna go ahead and climb up on that block. Typically, as a coach, you can see my whole bar station and setup is behind me. As a coach, I would be standing on the other side to make sure that my whole class is in my sight range. For the purpose of this video, I'm gonna stand on this side. So Morgan's gonna stand up. I'm gonna let her know that we are not using that low bar at all. She's standing here on the block, and she's gonna go ahead and reach her hands towards that high bar. This block is adjustable, so depending on how tall the kid is, their ability to jump, you can pull it in and out. Coach is gonna go ahead and spot from the belly, so her hands are free, and on 1, 2, 3, Morgan gets to jump and catch that bar. She swings forward back and drops to her feet in the back. I still have my hand here. We are on a hill, so we're gonna have her back in case she does trip backwards. Nice job, Morgan. All right, so Morgan's here. We've moved over to our beginner twos, maybe first level intermediate class, where our kids have a pretty solid concept of they've maybe achieved their pullover already and they have a strong front support. So we can start learning the spotted birdie perch on the low bar. So Morgan is at a bar that is set pretty low. So she can do a front support here, but her feet are very close to the ground. We want to keep this low, again, in case she falls while she's learning. She's safe and protected. We also will always learn a birdie perch with this wedge mat here in front of her in case she does trip and fall forward. It's safer. So Morgan's gonna jump to her front support. Now there's a little technique that she can learn here beyond what we taught in the beginner levels. So her first foot will climb up. Go ahead, climb the first foot up. Her far hand scooches in. Good, to make room for the second foot. Second foot climbs on the outside. She stands and jumps down to her feet. Good. Once we feel confident that Morgan has a pretty solid birdie perch, she feels good that she's able to do this independently without my spot, we're gonna move forward to letting Morgan do a spotted birdie perch stand, jump and catch the high bar. Before Morgan takes her turn, I'm gonna let her know if you do a bad birdie perch, if you do a birdie perch that just wasn't quite right, don't try to jump and catch the high bar. Just jump down safely. We'll try it again on the next one. We don't want to see a kid so excited to jump to the high bar that they trip over the low bar on their way jumping to the high bar, land on their face. That's a mess. So we're going to keep this nice, contained, and controlled. Morgan's going to do her first birdie perch. All right. When I spot here, I have her shoulder. Oftentimes kids want to lean back. I'm reinforcing. I need her to lean forward, this is one of the first concepts that they're going to learn, or one of the first skills they're going to learn where they do have to have that forward lean over the bar. So I have her shoulder just making sure she's going in that direction. First foot scooch, second foot stand. I still have her shoulders. She stands tall. As she stands and reaches, I transfer my spot from her arms to her hands. You got it, reach your arms long. and drop in the bag.